Hello, hello. It is February 17th, Thursday. I wasn't on yesterday. I slept like 4 hours, maybe Monday night, and then I think I'm not even kidding, like an hour and a half to two on Tuesday night. We've had ants in our bathroom for the last week or so, and so the cats who normally, we have three cats, two of them usually sleep in the bathroom at night. They couldn't do that because of all the ants and all the traps we had out. So they were in the living room. Other cat was in the bedroom. We had the door shut because it's a one bedroom tiny apartment, no ventilation. It just gets super hot and cold in the bedroom at the same time whenever the door is shut. And so I've been having trouble sleeping as a result of that. So I didn't play yesterday because I was just so drained from lack of sleep that I just didn't want to have to worry about, being functional. That and I was worried about just being narcoleptic and passing out on my floor in the middle of a run. Um, that said, I got a message from a PlayStation friend of mine this morning saying that he had just beaten his high trick score in Alto. Alto is a snowboarding game that was on the cell phone first, cell phone and tablets, and then they eventually dropped it on consoles. I think less than like 500 people bought this game when it came out a little over a year ago. And to put it in perspective here, I am not bad at this game, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I am hands alive, and I have the number one score on the planet on this game on the PS4. Same thing goes for distance. I had the number two best combo. He had the number one. It was like 97 or 98,000. He just crushed that with a 125,000 point combo. Good on him. This Justin guy, I don't know who he is, but he seems to be has been on the come up in recent months because I check this usually I'll check this every like, I don't know, 3, 4 months just to see if anybody's actually playing it. And I do see some names that are different on here. Now, whether or not these were the same people that did it, a year plus ago and they just changed their names, or if these are different people, I don't 100% know. Um, but yeah, so he said that he had beaten the score. He thinks that he might be able to go for a 200,000 point combo in the mountains, which is, I think, not possible. There are two modes, there are two games in this game. That makes sense. There's the mountain version, and then there's a desert version. So the mountain version came out, I don't even know, like 8 years ago. I think this one came out like 5 years ago. And it's just a side-scrolling snowboarding game, very simple. It was designed for cell phones, so it was like touch controls. You don't have to really be doing much. There is a bit of an issue with these games in that the frame rate will kind of do a little freak out every once in a while, and so you'll like fall through, um, say like grinds or jumps. Things won't always respond the way you want them to. And I'm just going in here so you can see the high scores here because I'm actually a lot better on this version than the original one. But yeah, so he had beaten that, and so I came in here and looked at it and realized that all of my saves, my cloud saves, are no longer on here. A few months back, I was trying to save something in the cloud and the game wouldn't let me. And it was because apparently, I mean, there are data limits, which anybody who has PS Plus knows this, but there's apparently a game limit too. You can only have, I think it was like 200 games saved in the cloud. So it doesn't matter what size the memory is, you can't have more than 200. And so I hit that wall, and so I deleted a bunch of things, and I think this was one of the games that I deleted because I thought I had it downloaded onto the hard drive, and turns out I did not because these are refurbished PS4 Pros that died when they died when I was playing Cyberpunk. They both got nuked, so I had to send them in, get them refurbished, send them back. So the hard drives were wiped, obviously, and so I never downloaded the game off the cloud, then I deleted the cloud save. So if I'm going to do anything of note on these leaderboards, like this Justin guy beat my distance on here, which that was new. This coffee dude's been around for a while. I think the rest of these are fairly the same. But yeah, the second one was designed for combos a lot better than the first game was. Like I feel like if you get anything over 80,000 on the first one, it's more luck than skill. It's just everything went according to plan, just enough so you could hit that big trick. Whereas with this, it's actually designed to do significant combos. There's like things set up to where you can, I wouldn't say go indefinitely, but you can go for a really long time in one trick, kind of like say like the original Tony Hawk games. Yeah. So we are going to go back to the first one. Oh, what is workshop? What's this like this? Oh, none of this is new. Yeah, so each game has a kind of like a mini shop. On the cell phone versions of these games, because these were free to play games, you had to spend real money to. You would get points as you played, but you have to spend real money if you wanted to unlock the stuff faster. And this version of the game, I think it's like $5 or $10 to have both of them. It might be $5 each or $10 for both. I don't remember. But yeah, it's all point based now, so you don't have to actually spend money to unlock these things. But you do gotta grind. And I figure since very few people have actually played this game on the PS4 or PS5, I'd go ahead and dive back in. So there's, I think each game has, is it 50 levels or 100 levels? I think each one has 50, if I'm correct. And each one has, oh wait, no. Yeah, I think it's each one has 50 levels. It might be 100. I'm not 100%. It's been a minute. But yeah, I think each level has 3 objectives. So land a backflip, grind a bunting line, jump across a chasm. And there are also other characters that you can unlock as well. It's not even letting me jump right now. This game is literally 3 buttons. I mean, it's the D-pad, X, and square. That's it. As you can see on the top right, there's the ramp kicker. So you jumped off the ramp, the backflip that I did, and then landing on the grind. It all adds up to combos, which then allows you to get points, and then you use those points to unlock items and things and characters, beat the objectives. You can eventually, depending on your character, you'll be able to have different abilities. This character is kind of like your base normal character. The one after this, she's better with tricks. The goal is to unlock all of them because the last one that you unlock has like the best of all the worlds, has all the special abilities of all the other characters, and then you can actually start doing some pretty good runs and for distance and points and whatnot. So this game's a bit of a grind for probably about anywhere from 3 to 10 hours, depending on how good you are and how good you play. And then once you get through that, then it's all about trying to beat your high score, beat the runs, beat everybody else. It's a really fun game. Wish more people were playing it because it would motivate me to play this more often. It's a really chill game, as you can kind of hear with the music. It's very like, it's one of those games that you can play for 10 minutes or 2 hours, and you can stop it at any time, you can veg out, you play your own music while you're playing this. Nothing really gets in the way. That thing that I just passed will be chasing you. It's possible for it to hit you, and I just wrecked. When it hits you, it's game over. There is a character that I think when it hits, or actually you can buy an item that when you get hit, I don't think it's a game over right away. So when I go here, so yeah, helmet carved from wood. These helmets protect you from a single crash each. They won't help with chasms though. So this is only for one crash. So if you crash twice on any level, it's game over at that point. Chasm rescues is the same. So if you fall in one of those holes in between the jumps, this will rescue you one time. So it's possible to like have one wreck and one chasm rescue in the same level. The magnet timer is just a thing that will soak up the coins as you near them. So the stronger that is, the farther away you can be and still get those coins. Hover is an ability that allows you to literally hover off the ground. So any of the rocks you're going through, you won't hit, but they also won't hit you. It can be good in the right spots. The wingsuit, and this is pretty much the name of the game here. You want to get the wingsuit as quickly as possible because that'll allow you to get the biggest points, tricks, distances, all that good stuff. This is where the comboing starts. The llama horn. This allows a bunch of llamas to be sort of just spawned kind of almost directly in front of you, which is a good way to get a lot of points quickly. This game, I think this version, the mountain version, there's a mountain version and the desert version. The mountain version, I think, was more designed to try to get distance, and the points were just kind of like something to do along the way. And the desert one felt more, we're trying to get as many points as possible. Distance is not as important, in my opinion. And the game has day-night cycles. Every day that you make it through, I think you get bonus points. So there is actually a glitch in this game where you can let it sit at the beginning while time passes, and you'll get 2,000 points a day. And the longer you grind, you'll get speed bonuses. Didn't trust myself enough to go for a double. Oh! I thought I was going to run through that rock. Pick up a coin maggot, travel 5,000 meters in total, score 500 trick points in one run. You can land on those rocks and it'll bounce you up in the air. And the key with the grinding to get the speed burst, it has to be a continuous grind. It can't be a, like where you kind of just fell off the grind and land on it again. It has to be one long stream of a grind for it to actually trigger a speed bonus, which kind of sucks, but it's the name of the game. Nope. Normally it should be 5,000 meters in one run, but they changed it, I think, for the console versions. think the next character's name is Maya, and that's the one you want for... You want to get to Maya, and that'll get you more points early. And then you basically are going to ride her out until you get the last character unlocked, and then you'll be able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, because that'll have all the abilities. Oh, no, I didn't. Yeah, you can bounce off the fire also. Forgot. And that guy chases you until you get to a chasm. Like the snowboarding at night, what that's implying is that it wants you to start here and get to the nighttime, but you could literally just sit there and not hit the X button to start the run, and eventually it goes nighttime. This game isn't very difficult to platinum if you want to go for that. The hardest one is it wants you to get all of the objectives, I think, in less than 100 runs. And it wants you to do it on both the mountain and desert versions to get that trophy. I think I did it on this one. I did not do it on the desert one. As you see, you're above the ground. So any rocks that would be there, you would fly through unless you run out of the hover stuff, and then you hit the rocks and die. That's how that works. Oh yeah, you unlock a new character, I think, every 10 levels. Like, that's how it goes. And the levels are procedurally generated. I mean, the beginning is more or less, the very beginning is the same, but everything else after that is just randomly, you get what you get. So sometimes you can get a really good run because you got lucky and the game just sort of gave you what you needed to be successful. Other times, you'll get screwed and there's nothing you can do about it because the game hates you. They did a lot better of a job in terms of, I guess, giving you a chance in the desert one versus this one. This is our first game, so it's just, I think, naturally a little more unforgiving. But I mean, it's doable. Oh, no, but fall in a hole. Like pick up a hover feather. I mean, it's obviously going to be more likely to show up because the objective is to pick one up, but it's something that it's not something you can just manufacture and make happen as soon as possible. You have to wait for the game to give it to you. And that's what I'm saying, is where you could get screwed, because if it doesn't give it to you, then you're just stuck here until it happens. So you might have one that gives you a feather in the first 500 meters. You might have a run that gives it to you at like 7,000 meters. And there's not much you can do about that. So there's actually nothing. Oh, and when you're on the ice, you automatically get that little speed burst. And you'll hit whatever rocks are there. Just got scared. Oh, and then I miss it. Well done. I don't think I would have been able to get that anyway, unless I was in the middle of a combo. I could have, if I would have done that better, I could have smashed through all those rocks. Did it! The only real downside right now is I can't play my own music because I'm streaming this. Because this is the same song. This is the only song I think it plays like the entire time until you beat the game. The desert one has its own song, and it just keeps going. And it's not the worst song in the world, but I'd rather listen to pretty much anything else after about the 30 to 45 minute mark. There's a Zen mode. I don't really, I mean, it's basically just like, oh, you just keep playing with no objectives, but you might as well play with objectives because it's not like the game's super stressful. So I just got a 31,000 point run. You want to land in the top 10, you need about 452. I've popped 3.3 mil. This the 3.3 million, the 195,000 meters. That was one run. The 95,000 point trick was another day, just trying to get as many points as possible in one. I think when I got this, I got like literally like 89, 91, 93, then 95. Like I just had to like, I was incrementally moving up to it. And then with the desert one where I hit the 280, that was a run where I did the high score, the distance, and the 280 all in one run. And the 280,000 point trick was my biggest trick, obviously, but it was like one of, I think, 3 tricks of 200,000 points or more. And I think I might have had like 5 or 6 tricks in that run of like 125,000 or more. I was just crushing. And that's what sucks is that I wish you could like, they had more stats or some maybe more involved stats where you could, you know, see maybe all the best, maybe the top 10 high scores of each individual person, or I don't know, just a little more in depth would have been nice. But it is what it is. Ultimately, it's a cell phone game they're selling for $5 on a PlayStation Store. The other one was jumping over 5 rocks in one run. There it is. We're just getting greedy right now. Getting greedy with the bass player. You can do triple jumps with Maya. So like the most jump, like basically the best you can do with this guy is a double jump. Just because he turns so slowly. With Maya, you can do triples, and I feel like there's quadruple backflips as well. This is one of those sneaky runs that'll potentially take a long time if you're not doing it correctly. Getting 15 llamas sounds easy. But you're kind of at the will of the level. Like if they're throwing rocks at you every 5 seconds, you're going to be jumping over a lot of llamas. Also, you got to backflip over a chasm. Like that's just something you have to be thinking about doing when you see one. And it's not like you can see it ahead of time. As you start to play this, you can start getting a feel for what's going to happen next a little bit. But it's not perfect, and it will mess with you. What's up, Big Jim? Yes? I'll beat you in a second. Uno momento, little cutie. about to get hit. I didn't hit any of those llamas. Don't hit me! Don't hit me! Thank you. Perfecto. It's not a guarantee you're going to make it over those chasms. If you're not going fast enough, you're going to crash. Oh yeah, it'll, anybody you're friends with that's playing this game, it'll show up and tell you that you've just beaten their distance or score or whatever it is. That's actually, that was my girlfriend's name, and that's actually me playing. I don't have to hit that. Pretty much how I'm playing now is very, very basic because I can't do anything else because it's the base character. And if you, assuming I'm streaming this at the end, you'll see there's a massive difference just in terms of mobility and whatsoever. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this now. I'm going to come back here in a few minutes. I'm going to play some Horizon Zero Dawn after I feed these little kitties. So see y'all soon.